everyone, as you can see I'm all bundled up and it's relatively dark outside. It's been cold and rainy all day, but it's not all doom and gloom because we got a new Jojo episode. Oh, finally we get to see Trish's stand and I could not be more satisfied. I didn't notice it before in the opening, but her stand actually has like the math symbols on it, the same thing as her like skirt, the freaking pluses, minuses, division, multiplication. What's up with that, by the way? If you're gonna have the math theme going on here, shouldn't her stand have something to do with math? Or maybe Trish is just very good at math. Maybe she wants to be an accountant when she grows up. I don't know. In actuality, the writer probably just thought, hey, those symbols look cool. Surprising amount of character development goes on in this one single episode. You see at the beginning, Trish is, very, very scared, very, very nervous, of course. And she kind of has to have her stand tell her what to do. But then by the end of the episode, you see that she kind of snaps out of that scared little girl. Oh, somebody save me. Oh, stand, help me. And then she starts taking control, and that's the Trish that I love. That's my girl. So let's go by this episode bit by bit so I can go over all the little details. So we start off the episode and she has to go get the brooch. And she realizes that the chairs can recline, so she figures she can press the button without minimal to no real movement and have the chairs decline, and she just has to move slower than the chairs and slowly make her way over to the brooch to get it. Unfortunately, while Notorious Big attacks one of the chairs, a bottle breaks and it gets her shoe wet. And the speed from the liquid dripping from her shoe actually is faster than the chair, so Notorious Big goes after her shoe, and I guess on instinct of being in this super terrifying situation, her stand kind of activates without her really knowing what was going on. So she's able to slide out of her shoe and keep going, and that's when we're introduced to Spice Girl! I know that band. Oh my goodness, her battle cry is wannabe. You guys have been posting wannabe in all caps in the comments section for how long now? I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. Then I see this episode and I'm like, oh my god, it's the Spice Girls. I had the Spice Girls movie growing up. Come on, Trish, get it together. So similarly with Mista's stand, Spice Girl kind of has her own consciousness, but she still recognizes that she is one with Trish. So the idea being that the stand kind of comes out, takes control in the situation, but by the end of the episode, the roles switch. At first, it's Spice Girl who's taking control of the situation, doing everything, kind of mentoring Trish on how to use a stand, basically. Then by the end, Trish is like, I got this. So she grabs the brooch and then heads back to the closet instead of going towards Bruno and the others because she wants to hide. Spice Girl's ability is to make any solid object turn into like elasticy material. So the idea of being more safe behind a door is if you try to break down the door, it's just gonna bounce right back. Kind of like Luffy's powers. You shoot him with a bunch of round bullets, it just bounce right back at you. But Notorious Big is able to kind of wiggle its way through the cracks of the door, so it ends up getting in anyway. So Spice Girl turns the clock elastic, and it keeps on attacking the clock because the clock's ticking. Not being able to actually destroy the clock, all you have to do is move slower than the ticking hand. We have a pretty convincing death scene with Notorious Big. I thought we were done. Kind of halfway through the episode, I was thinking to myself, if it attacks anything that's moving, shouldn't it have attacked the plane? Why is it attacking what's on the plane? Shouldn't it be just attacking the plane? If they all stop moving, would that mean that they attack the plane? How does that work? Well, people, Notorious Big attacked the plane. Now, starting with the engines, and then eventually it was taking energy from the engines and getting bigger and bigger and started to actually consume the majority of the plane. So because of that, the plane starts descending, it's going to crash. And this is the moment where Trish really takes control. She's just like, well, why don't we just cut off the cockpit and float down on a parachute? So she turns like the cockpit into elasticy, like rubber, and they all kind of just hold on to the cockpit and float down slowly while the plane is going fast as it crashes into the water. Now I gotta say, this parachute, it looks so impractical. It looks like they would just fall right out of it. Now one of Notorious Big's pieces is still on ABBA, and immediately, you know, Bruno just figures, I'll just put it on my arm. Then we have another character with their arm cut off. I did like the moment, though, where, like, we have this close-up on Trish, and you know that it's going to be a good moment because you start hearing that music. What's that music? Dun 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 dun. And Spice Girl starts doing this, and I thought that was so funny. It reminded me of Avdol with the tisk tisk, you know. So it was really great seeing that. The idea of Notorious Big, they never actually beat Notorious Big. They never actually turn it off or whatever. It was kind of like what I talked about before, like they just ditch it someplace and it goes on to attack more people, and that's actually what ends up happening. It's so messed up. For the most part, it's attacking waves, mostly, except for, you know, every single ship that passes by. It is kind of funny in a way, though, because they're just kind of like, not my problem. Got a lot of shit to deal with, guys. I don't want to hear about, oh, my family was murdered on a boat. We got our own problems. And the last scene that kind of wraps up this episode in a neat little bow is we get back to King Crimson and the boss. So it turns out there was this photo of Trish's mother that she had and she always stared at and adored. And there's a location where the photo was taken. What's more is that the father, the boss, is the one who took the photo. So for whatever reason, he doesn't want Moody Blues to go to that location and replay that time period or that memory where the photo was taken, because it will reveal information. And that is what we got for this week. So, good episode. I can't wait to see more stand fights with Trish and Spice Girl. Yeah, well, you get like the math symbols all over both of them, and then you don't use a band name with the word math in it somewhere. I mean, there's bands that are like math themed, right? Hang on. What? Math rock is a style of indie rock that emerged in the late 1980s in the United States, influenced by post-hardcore progressive rock bands such as King Crimson. Math rock? Characterized by complex, atypical rhythmic structures, counterpoint, odd times. Is that what they're referencing to with Trish? They're referencing math rock? That's why she has weird math symbols all over her? My mind is fucking blown. I would have never thought of that. Alright, guys. So, that's gonna wrap up my review for this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye! Program restart.